They ain't ready.
I'm ready for this wine though. Shit.
Shit. Got me fucked up.
Don't mind me. What is this we got here? We got that,
This like
that California.
pretty cheap.
Menage a
honestly.
trois.
That's what I'm talking about.
They said it's rich, it's red, and it's tasted. 3 of them.
All right, here we go. All right, let's see what I get. Hopefully it's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's right. The little topic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Getting to the airport.
Oh, I just fucking did that. So you just want me to talk about getting to my process to get into the airport or what?
No. So so I pick one, Dylan picks one, then you pick one. So I'm gonna talk about getting to the airport.
Oh, okay,
And then-
okay.
All right, here we go. You gonna take that? I'll keep it out just in case you.
Ready?
All right. Bam. So getting to the airport, I used to not live that far from the airport. I probably lived like 10, 15 minutes away. But one time I fucking got hired to go shoot out in Utah at this festival, right? Mm-hmm. And I fucking got to the airport on time, early as fuck in the morning. My girl got me there on time, but they didn't tell me. I flew Frontier, fucking shitty ass airline. But they fucking told me, they didn't tell me that they had a south terminal at the fucking Austin airport. So I missed my fucking flight and it fucking sucked.
Damn.
That's the worst. And they'd be like,
The south one's that little one, right? On the other side?
It's like fucking 10, 15 minutes away from like the actual air. I was fucking pissed
just in the
off,
terminal,
man.
just like, hey, what's up? I'm pissed. Sorry.
Yeah, man. Shit's, it's pretty whack.
That's how it be happening. What can you do? Fuck it.
It's on you, man. What you gonna pull out, man? How you feeling today?
Feeling like I would rather not shave my pubes again, for starters. Okay, I'm totally not gonna look at it and see what I get. Raisins.
Ooh.
Wow. Fun. Okay, cool. Nice and easy. I'd love to wax philosophical about raisins. Why not?
You ready?
Let's do it. So raisins are cool, man. Raisins are nice. They're usually a great part of any little cereal business you got going on. Natural sugar. I'm a big proponent nowadays of getting rid of that added sugar. And if you want to get some natural in you, raisins a great way to go. Also, trail mix. If y'all be messing with that trail mix, you got to get the stuff with the raisins in it. Not too much. Don't go overdo it with the sugars and all that. Get you a nice little helping of the peanuts and the almonds, maybe little cashews and little nut variety. But get some raisins thrown in there too, man. Makes the value good. Makes it solid. Boys like raisins.
Oh, you get timed, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, 30 seconds, man.
All right.
He said, stop talking about raisins.
I fucking hate raisins, man.
For
He
real?
said, no, thank you on
I
raisins.
used to not like them when I was a kid, but now they're good for you. So.
Raisinets. Oh my
Slamming. Raisin Bran Crunch.
Abomination.
Man.
What you got?
I got shaving your pubic hair.
Oh, my God.
No, it's funny because, look, like I was saying earlier.
Hold up.
Do I say it again, what I got? Or?
Got it. Go.
So funny because you know how everybody always talks about like the manscaping stuff on YouTube, like all the YouTubers. I actually finally got one, and I gotta say, it works. So if you've been thinking about it, it works.
He said,
So
man,
and it's it was a pleasant experience, and I recommend it.
He said, I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
He said,
Time.
we are escaping the mans. Let it be known, mans are scaped on the Liz Cannon Show.
Every like dude podcast is like sponsored by
Yeah.
the Lawnmower 3.0 Manscaped.
That's the one I got.
Shout out.
Dude, their ads are really good, man. I've seen some of their ads and I almost bought one. And it's not that expensive either.
Well,
They
yeah.
got them at Target too. I
It's
think.
reasonably priced.
Yeah, but with the discount codes too, they're not bad. I mean, not bad, period, but still, like, put it this way, I didn't cut my balls. Shaving.
Yeah. I hear you can be pretty rough with it, man. It has a little light on there too, so you can kind of see what you're
You
doing.
can use it in the shower, so everything's cool.
My girl's like she's like she says that she doesn't want me to shave my pubes, but I think she's lying. Ooh. And I don't think, honestly, she hasn't seen my penis with my pubes shaved, so I might have to surprise her one day.
Gonna show up like, what did you do?
She's gonna be like, whoa. What'd they say? They said they had a really cool analogy of how it just makes your penis look bigger. when you shave your pubes, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry, guys.
Wasn't that what was in a movie for sure, right? Remember that? What's that movie where homie asked homeboy to shave his pubes for him because he's afraid? But they're like homies. They're straight. They're like,
Nah, I don't know. I'm thinking of Blue Mountain State. All right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
You ready? All right, for sure. Colin, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, hell yeah. Gotta shake out all the jizz. No, I'm kidding.
All the pubes.
sorry, that pube talk.
All right, coming in hot. It's the Loose Cannon Show. My name is Shelly Nix.
And my name is Dylan Harkins.
Hell fucking yeah. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling fantastic. About yourself, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm pretty excited about our guest today, too, man.
That makes two of us. And just to put a little bit of icing on the introductory cake, we got a very special guest with us today. My man Zaid Kirdsey here in the flesh to talk about everything under the sun that one might find.
Thanks
in
for having me,
Vogue
y'all.
today.
Really fun to be here and first interview of 2022. Let's get it.
Fuck yeah, man.
Rock
Hell
and
yeah.
roll.
For me, I know you guys been working, so
Actually, this is our first one of the year, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I think so. It's only the 5th, right?
Ooh.
It has to be.
well, cheers to that.
Hey,
Yeah, hey, where's my glass
cheers,
at?
cheers to that. Put one
Fuck
in the,
yeah, man.
Put one in the air for him. So we brought you on to talk about a bunch of different stuff, Zaid. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of things, give us a little background about yourself for the folks that don't know you. Like, what's a little bit of backstory that, you know, might give people a good idea on where you come from, what you're about, all that good stuff.
Well, like you said, I'm Zaid. It's actually my artist name, but it's actually my real name too, kinda. But you gotta kind of like know me to know what the deal. But we'll leave it at that.
If you know,
There you go.
know.
But no, I'm from Mexico. I came here in '98. I was lucky enough that my dad was able to somehow fix my mom up and me and my little brother and got us green cards and been here in Austin since '98 and learned the language from scratch. Actually, the way I learned English was pretty funny because I used to live over there by Battle Band. I don't know if you guys know where that's
Battle
at.
Band?
The park off of Congress.
Okay.
You know, it's like kind of famous now for like YouTubers going to play basketball and whatnot over there.
Okay.
But anyways, I used to live back there in a trailer park, and my neighbors, like three houses down from me, were two kids, a white kid and a black kid, and it just so happened that their moms were lesbians. But you know, to me, I had never seen that as a kid coming here to the States or whatever. So it was like I would like just hang out with them because they had all like the cool shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
All the best
And they would
toys.
invite me, and we used to play like Duke Nukem and all this like cool shit they had. They had a trampoline. Never seen a trampoline in my life before. Like,
Damn.
so it was cool. And they would like, you know, correct me when I said things wrong, and like they wouldn't make fun of me when I
Yeah.
like mispronounced stuff. And so that was pretty cool. And I picked up a lot of English off of them. And yeah, it was just, you know, it's cool growing up there. And then after that, you know, obviously learn the language and just.
Did you have any problems like in school? I don't know how old you were when you were here. Did you have any issues in school like with the language barrier?
Second grade is when I came here, and I don't think so. Not at first, because they obviously put me in a class where there was other like Spanish speaking kids.
Oh, that's dope.
But the goal for them was, you know, to teach me English.
Yeah.
But no, I don't recall any problems. I actually used to like draw a lot even back then. I remember like you would have to write like every day in your journal what you did like the day before or whatnot. And like so I would do that, and then below the page I would always draw like a little scene in like crayons and whatnot.
Nice.
So I clearly remember that, and I think that kept me like busy like a lot of like my first years here.
I can
And,
imagine.
but yeah, it was a trip, man, coming over here, like, and just seeing like a city, because where I come from, it's like a really, really small town. Like, it's less than 200 people.
What's the name of the town?
Man, let me see if I can pronounce it right for you. Cuautlita.
Coahuilita.
Yeah, it's
Shout out
like
to
2.5 to 3 hours south of Mexico City.
Okay.
Cool.
And it's a small, like, it's like rural, like there's really nothing there. No AC, like,
Damn.
yeah, bro.
Wow.
Like, so on top of the roofs, there's like these big ass black tanks, and those get filled up like maybe once. They used to be filled up once a week. I don't know how they do it now. Maybe now it's three times a week. But anyways, they fill those tanks up, and that's all you get for the week to like take a shower and use the restroom.
Shit. I didn't know you were talking
Wow.
about water.
He said that's a septic,
Damn.
man.
Yeah, man. And to wash your dishes or whatever, they fill up like a concrete tank with water, and that's all you get till they turn the water on again. And that's how, like, next to that concrete tank, there's like a washboard made out of concrete, and that's like where they'll wash like dishes and stuff like that.
Damn. Talk about fucking humble beginnings, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I recently just came back from there. I visited like a couple days ago, and it was my first time going back in 17 years.
Man.
So I was going back thinking like, oh, things have changed. Like the buildings have gotten better. Exactly the same.
He said,
pretty
"Nah, ain't
much.
nothing changed."
Obviously, like they have like washing machines now and shit like that, and TVs and everything. But like, for the most part, everything's still like the water thing's still the same. People that work out in the fields earn like 125 pesos a day, which I think is the equivalent of like $5.
Wow.
Damn.
Like, so if you think about like actually like doing like some real work in the fields, like earning $5 a day, like
That's crazy, man.
yeah. So it was definitely a good experience going back. It
A lot of perspective.
it made me realize how lucky I am that this guy chose my mom to be his lady, and somehow he came to this side and got a green card himself, and then he set it up where he could bring us.
We bringing the whole family.
Yeah, so you brought
pack
the
your
whole
bags.
fam.
We going to the USA.
Yeah, so I've
That's
been here
awesome.
since '98, and I think I can probably say I'm a Texas boy now.
Yeah.
You remember what kind of like food you were eating? Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
you were like in Mexico?
Yeah, man, like a lot of so here it's the equivalent. So here they have what they call chorizo.
Uh-huh.
Over there they call it longaniza,
Okay.
which is a different like. It's the same. It's basically the same. Like if you were looking at it, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
But it tastes so much better because it's like all like organic and
Oh yeah.
and whatnot. And we ate a lot of like
Home
real
style.
humble, like rice and beans, like eggs, like like really like simple stuff. I used to go hunting with my uncle. Well, he would take me like fishing, and I remember he would used to make like my fishing rod out of like this chorizo cane.
Really?
And he would like rig it up for me, and we used to go fish like in the little like rivers, and he would always catch the fish. I was just going there,
Yeah, just hanging
because I
out.
was hanging out. I was a little kid, but I clearly remember him making slingshots too out of like trees that he found like the branches,
Oh, that's
like
cool.
that.
Damn.
Yeah.
and he would like cut it, shave it down a little bit, tie his own like rubber or whatever. And back then they used to hunt with those like iguanas, like big iguanas.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
And they would
Pop them in the head.
pop
knock
them in the
out.
head. Yeah, no, like they got their aim like on point, and
I've
they
seen
would
Bear Grylls do some shit
fucking
like that.
yeah, and they'll kill them right there, gut it, clean it right there in the river, and then take it home and cook it. And
Said this dinner right here.
You said you were when you came to America and you were in second grade. You were that's when you remember drawing. So was that the point where you realized that like your drawing was on a different tier than like level than your peers, or were you just thought you were just
Nah.
drawing just
I
like
was-
any other kid?
I was just drawing like any other kid. I still have some of those journals actually.
Nice,
So
nice.
like
Hell yeah.
I wish I could see some shit that I was
The-
drawing when I was
yeah,
5,
I
6
have
years
like
old.
I think I have like I have to dig up more, but I think I have one for sure, and I can like see what I was drawing, and it was really just me drawing like super simple stuff, stick figures, kind of describing like the day that what I did the day before, because that was like the
Yeah.
assignment. Like the teacher was like, write about your day, what you did
Yeah.
the weekend or whatever. But I think it wasn't until like around third or fourth grade, where I actually like started to realize the motherfuckers would pick me to be in their group project if it involved artwork.
Yeah.
And that's when I started realizing, I was like, okay, maybe like I have something here.
I have a little something.
Yeah. That's
What-
when I realized it. Yeah.
Were they calling you Zaid back then?
No, my
okay.
my real name.
Okay,
My
cool,
real
cool,
legal
cool.
name.
Yeah, boy.
That's dope.
I'll let you
man.
know after the thing.
Yeah, when they can shut the cameras
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
there you go, there you go.
the government name.
Right. So how long altogether have you been? I guess how long have you considered yourself an artist at this point?
That's a good question. Cause every artist, if you ask them how long you've been drawing, they'll be like, "Oh, my life." Or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which that's like the typical answer, and it's true. But I would say around, if I'm really being honest here, like around 2011, 12ish is when I really started taking it serious.
Yeah.
And when I was like, man, I need to I don't want to work at a regular job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to I need to do something else. So I started looking into graphic design, stuff like that. And I taught myself how to use Adobe Illustrator, which is the
Nice.
program you would use to make logos and stickers. Because back then it was the whole back then streetwear was really popping off still. Back then Crooks and Castles was still
Yeah.
the
Big
fresh
time.
beginning. What else?
Even
10 Deep.
Obey has some good
Obey,
art.
10 Deep.
Yup.
Fucking, they were still in their infant. Well, they've been around, but that's when people were still barely discovering them,
Yeah,
Cloud
yeah.
Kicker, all this shit. And so I was really man, I want to do logos too. I want to do my own clothing and shit. So
Yeah.
I was really driven by the fashion back then, the streetwear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I need to do my own thing like that. So I taught myself how to use Adobe Illustrator because I really wanted to make the stickers. That's where I made the stickers and whatnot. And so yeah, that's 2011, 2012.
2011, 2012.
it's,
Yeah.
it's when I.
And before we move any further, got to give a man props on providing the Loose Cannon Show with some beautiful sticker art. This is some Zaid Kirdsey, straight off the boat, fresh dopeness right here. And we
Yeah, let me
appreciate.
see that, man.
Yeah.
You can't get those anymore because they sold out. So.
Ooh, limited run. Let them know about it.
These are cool, man. I really love the colors, and I really love especially this one right here. It looks so.
Look at
This
that.
one right here. One because it has gold teeth, but and was that a bag of money in its hand?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Just robbed a bank.
Got him.
But it looks so evil, and almost like the red guy in the Powerpuff Girls. He has that big smile. He's
yeah.
mischievous kind of I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I like
yeah.
a lot of my characters to kind of look like that. But
fuck yeah, man. That shit's dope. When do you come up with these characters on the fly, or do you you have dreams about these things? How do you come up with these characters that you draw? Or they just come with the stroke,
honestly, yeah, sometimes I just start a new canvas and just kind of sketch some, especially now because it's a lot of it is digital, so it's
Yeah.
real easy to undo. So you can do a bunch of lines and delete them, and then
Yeah.
So a lot of it starts off like that, just me fucking around with some lines, unless I have a specific concept of what I want it to look like, you know, But for the most part, man, I really always just start with an open mind, and then just whatever happens. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, you was doing a lot more request work and a lot more I guess what one might call traditional
Commissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, essentially stuff like that. And I remember back in the day when we was all hanging out in Austin, me, Pie, Cam, all them other boys, we'd always be like, yo, where's Zaid at? And it's that man's working. He was
Yeah.
like, damn, the hustle really does never stop. But it really, that hustle's brought you to where you are now, where you're doing all sorts of different things under this artistic umbrella and experiencing a level of success a lot of people can only dream about. So you got to give yourself props on that, man.
I actually remember that period of time you're talking about, and it was really I would stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes, on the weekends, Friday, Saturday nights, just drawing and drawing, because when I had a project going and I just wanted to add as much progress as I could, and yeah, man, I clearly remember that. I remember turning down a lot of and at some point I started feeling bad. A lot of homies were hitting me up to hang out, and I would be like, nah, I'm busy, I'm doing this. to a certain point where I thought some of them stopped hitting me up, period, because they knew I was gonna say no, which I can't blame them, you know.
Yeah.
But I do remember that, and yeah, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because you lose yourself when you're working like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Once I think every artistic person can relate. Once you find that, once you enter that flow state, you're, you know, it's just
Like, I don't want to do anything else.
you're in there, and that's it, and nothing else matters.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, the late nights, like the grind, like not being able to hang out with your friends when you want to. Did that ever ruin it for you? Did you ever become like jaded and not like wanna?
No, not really,
you know.
because for the most part, it helps that I'm an introvert. So, you know, I like my alone time, and I
Yeah.
like spending a lot just doing my own thing. There's a couple times, of course, you know, you're like seeing their stories or whatever.
Yeah.
Like them
All the homies partying.
and shit. But then I always think, like, I always like to remind myself, like, there's only the moment in the present.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can be sad that you missed out about a party like last week or whatever, but really, you can only really experience in the moment.
Yeah.
So there was always going to be more like parties or,
Oh, yeah.
you know, whatever. So I never really tripped on it like that.
I feel like it's a good problem to have, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to have so much work when you're doing what you love, of course.
For sure.
you know.
Because it's not even work.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
You're doing what you love.
something you enjoy doing. So you're going to do it.
So let's back up a little bit. Like, what is your like style? Like, what do you do? Like, do you like you paint? Do you like what's like the style of
I always
art,
have
visual art that you do?
Trouble answering that because I don't think I have a style.
I guess like. Well, I'm
styles.
sorry. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, some people might describe my style as real clean and sharp, colorful.
Yeah.
But it's like if I want tomorrow, I can start painting.
Yeah,
or
right.
The next day I can start spray painting, or the next day I can go work on my computer and do a digital.
But you feel proficient in all of that.
Yes, 100%.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Rock
Man.
and
That's
roll.
amazing, bro.
Yeah.
A true artist, you know, all the way through, man. Shit's
So I guess my style is like you don't know what I'm gonna do next.
yeah.
That's
Have
what
you
you
ever
do.
do any
Keep people on their
graffiti?
toes.
Yeah, I used to do it a lot, and it's like riding a bike, man. Like you pick it up, like you. But I haven't done it in a while, just cause, I got in trouble for it, and then like paint started to get like real expensive back in
Yeah.
the day when I was doing it, and really all the shit I was doing was like illegal anyways, so like
Yeah.
it wouldn't last, and so nowadays if I'm gonna do it, like I want to do it on a wall where, like.
That ain't getting painted over.
Chilling.
Like,
No, they don't even have to even pay me, to be honest, bro. Like, just fucking let me paint a wall and like
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
chill here without having to worry about fucking cops and
People listening for the like, little
yeah,
shaker
yeah.
thing.
So yeah,
Yup.
but I mean, yeah, you know, it's like riding a bike.
for
Still
sure.
there.
And as far as the art process, all of it incorporating your lifestyle and all that's concerned, do you recall like a certain point where it became a sustainable lifestyle for you to where you could feed your, like, you could essentially like pay your bills with art?
Yeah, I would say shortly after I learned Adobe Illustrator,
Yeah.
I took maybe like 2 years. So like around 2014, 2015, I could tell that I was like really like on my way. Part of it because I was able to pay my car payment with my art money at
Rock
the
and
time.
roll.
Had a car payment at the time. So I was like, man, as long as I can like pay my car payment every month with my art money, then I'm doing it right. That was my goal. And I did. I ended up paying my whole car that way. The
Hell yeah.
BMW I used to have. I don't know if you remember that white car.
Oh, I remember that. That shit was clean, man.
But yeah, I paid that off with my art money, and then I was like, okay, like if I didn't have this car payment, I could save even more money. But after I didn't have a car payment, I was spending more money on stupid shit. So it's like, fuck. So you know, I don't know why it happens like that, but it does. But
I feel like the more money you make, the more money you spend. You know?
True, yeah, it sucks, but it's like, but I think like once you like start making like an actual amount of money that can like actually change people's lives, you start to be more careful with it, and you start like being more smart about it with it, you know. So
For sure.
because you work so
Yeah.
hard for it, you don't.
Yeah. It's a lot of input. You don't want to just see it just float away, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like me not working for like me getting like $1 million and not doing anything for it, man. I couldn't imagine like what I'd fucking do with that shit, man. Because it's like you don't have that feeling, right? It's like I worked for this, you know. That's why I should be careful with this. But it's like you get a free $1 million.
True,
you know?
and then like just
It depends on the person.
Just
too,
to go
right?
off topic real quick, like with this like whole NFT thing, like people that are making a lot of money that aren't even artists.
Yeah.
That are just buying like these little collections and then flipping them. Like you can only imagine like
It's crazy.
how they feel like.
Oh yeah.
Spending like $200 on what they call a mint to generate the thing and then selling it for fucking $50,000+. It's like,
Yeah.
come
It's
up.
crazy how that works, man. It's
yeah,
it's-
when it comes to that, man, I'm an artist first, and then all
Yeah.
that other shit is kind of secondary.
But speaking of because you brought it up yourself, I mean, it seems only right to kind of dovetail into it. You are relatively involved in the crypto space. You got a good understanding, a good knowledge of it. When did you find yourself first becoming involved in the space? Did something initially attract you more so than anything?
Last year in November, just browsing Twitter like always, came across I came across this account called Super Rare, and they're a platform where artists can mint or upload is what
I heard of Super Rare.
Yeah, you upload your work there, and they focus on one-of-one art pieces, not collections, like just one-of-ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just browsing there, and then like clicked on their page, and just saw some of the artists they were retweeting, and like some of the money they were making, which even back then wasn't even a lot last year. And I was like, man, what the hell is this? Like, shit. I mean, they're making this much money. I can do it too.
Yeah.
So I kind of, just looked into it, went on their website and started reading about it, applied to it. And that was November. And
That was November of 2020. Is that correct? Or 2020?
Yes, 2020.
Okay, gotcha.
And I wait. You have to go through this application process. You make a video of yourself, talking about yourself and whatnot. Upload some pieces of yourself or of your art. And then you just wait. And luckily, I only waited like a month and a half, 2 months, because in December is when I got the "you got accepted" notification. Nice. And
you're pretty hype, huh?
Yeah, I was excited, bro. I was like, man, finally I get a chance to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
But the thing is up to that point, I had already started working on this piece called Faces. And, I was like, man, if I get accepted into Super Rare, like, this is going to be my first piece that introduces me into, like, the crypto world.
Yeah.
Because that's always been my goal, and my motto is I don't want to upload any old work that exists before I even knew about NFTs, because I wanted to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
The only time I would do that is if a collector is browsing my collection and they come across something old and they were like, hey, I'm interested in this, blah, blah, blah. That's the only way I would do it.
Uh-huh.
But I decided for me personally, it would be in my best interest to just start fresh with something new, keep working on it every day, and let people see the progress of, because I always share my progress a lot. So I thought it would be cool for them to see the progression of that piece, and it ended up working out for me because, I'm a true believer that if you share enough behind the scenes to your audience, they come with you. They're part of the journey.
Oh yeah.
So they were there from the first sketch you showed. So like when they see the final, they're like, oh man, I remember when he was just working on this. Like, it's cool to see the progress.
That's important, man.
Yeah.
Even like not even just with like drawing or just like visual art. Well, I guess what the example I'm going to use is visual art, but like even like music videos and like movies, and like people love seeing like the deleted scenes, the behind the scenes, making the video. I read this book by Austin Kleon. He actually lives in Austin. I think he's a writer, but he really emphasized. The book's about just how to. Just for like creators and how to like grow with your creativity, and but he really stresses opening up the door to your like progress and
let other people see
the
what
infancy.
you're because if I'm I believe if you just like, and so a lot of artists do it and they do it good, and props to them. But if you just bust out a new piece out of nowhere, like, yeah, it might be like the shock factor and be like, oh shit, this is cool, and a lot of people will like it. It just depends on your audience too.
Yeah.
But like for me, what works for me is bringing my audience with me from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
Let them
then
see from the
let-
ground up.
Yeah, because I mean, I put in so much hours into my stuff that like it would be dumb for me not to share that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lot of work you put in. You
Yeah.
might as well show it off. Like, this is what I'm spending my time doing. Please believe.
All right, so I don't know. I saw this on your Instagram, bro. I had to ask, are you like one of those like sneakerhead guys, man? I seen you hit on the sneakers app, bro.
one time
I seen you hit on the
I hit
sneakers
one
app.
time in like the last 5 years.
I don't know how that works, honestly. I always see people posting about that.
It says
you know?
that if you buy a lot of stuff, that you are like more likely to hit.
But this is
But
like
then how-
just like a raffle, right?
Yeah, but then how can you hit if you can't buy the shit because you never hit? So it's like fucking. I don't know. I honestly don't know how it works. And some people get lucky as fuck all the time, and I'm just not one of them. I hit on the Off-White Dunks on lot number 4, but that's the first time I hit like in 2 years, bro, or something like that. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of somewhat of a sneakerhead a little bit. Not so much nowadays. You know, back in the day, it was a lot easier to get shoes. And,
Yeah. Now the sneaker game's fucked up.
yeah, it's not even fun anymore. It's just like,
Tough.
you know, you got all these resellers, which props, I get it. You're making your
Yeah.
money, but it's
Yeah.
it's like, bro, I don't know. But I mean, I every now and then I get lucky with a pair here and there, or there has to be like a special pair that I'll pay those fucking StockX prices for, but
But you
it's rare.
But it's like if you hit, you get the shoes for free, right? Or
No,
wait, I don't know
you
how.
gotta
I don't know
pay.
how
You gotta pay. You still,
okay.
You
okay.
hit for the opportunity to buy
opportunity
them.
to buy them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought
Interesting.
at first, but when I saw everybody like trying to do it, I'm like, all right, everybody.
No.
You
That's
know?
your
Win a
opportunity
raffle.
just to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna
Damn.
say I'm gonna try to jump in this shit. Then
He
you know
said,
you miss
"Excuse me?"
100% of shots you don't take, type shit.
Right.
I mean, with the sneakers, yeah, you kind of do. Kind of do. It's kind of frustrating, but you're every time you're on there, fucking trying and see if you hit. And I always I never buy to resell or anything, bro. I
Yeah.
buy to wear my shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like sucks when you see all these fools with their like 20 pairs and
I got a whole wall of these just set up to check them out and all that.
They
yeah,
don't-
but I'm still pretty much man. I love that culture still. It's dope. And
For sure. All right, so I still want to talk about NFTs, man,
Yeah,
because
for
it's crazy, man.
It's a hot topic.
I've kind of recently dove into it myself, in the past couple months. I created this this character, and I draw him pretty much every day, like a different version of him, right? And I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of there's a bunch of things like this, but like Spatial. Have you ever heard of Spatial?
I have not.
Spatial is just like it's basically one of those free galleries. Basically, you
Okay.
get this
Oh,
free
that
like
thing,
VR.
yeah.
I guess it is a VR space, I guess, but you they give you this room. You can pick which style room you want, and you can just put your art all over the walls, and then you can
Okay.
invite people. You send people a link, and then they come into the gallery. They create an avatar, and then they just walk around, and you can just show them your art. So it's like kind of like a portfolio, but in an actual virtual gallery.
There's
kind
one
of like
called
on
Cyber.
Cyber.
Yeah,
on
Cyber has that.
Yeah.
That's where the clones
Really?
did their pods on Cyber.
Damn.
Yeah.
But okay, so it's okay. I know what you're talking about.
But it's also, you don't have to mint them to put them up either. I know on Cyber they have to be or minted, or they have to like. I
Are you
try to.
talking about the art on the walls and stuff like
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I actually haven't even played with mine, so I don't know.
Mhm.
But I know what you're saying. Where you like it has to be only like NFTs, right? Or you can just
Yeah.
upload your own like
On
artwork.
Spatial, you can just upload JPEGs
Okay,
and
that's cool.
videos and shit like that. But on
Cyber
on
and the other
Cyber, it has to be
galleries,
linked to like OpenSea and all.
It has to
all
be a
that shit.
minted NFT
Yeah,
or something like that.
Exactly. How would you define an NFT to someone who's never even heard the term before? How would you put it in layman's terms?
It's I mean, obviously non-fungible token is
Right.
the
Yeah.
abbreviation. It's like it's almost like a bulletproof ledger. It's essentially record keeping of when something first was invented on the blockchain or uploaded on the blockchain, and you can see every single interaction that ever happens with that piece of art when it's minted, aka uploaded, when someone bids on it, it's on there. When someone outbids that person, is on there. When someone wins the auction, is on there. Whenever that person, if they ever sell it, is on there. If they transfer it for free to somebody, it's on there. It's just basically a constant ledger, digital ledger. And, you know, that token that is associated with that piece of art is unique. It's the only one in the world. And that's what makes it like a one out of one.
Yeah, so it gives
like,
it value.
Unique. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I always like try to explain it to people, and it never gets through, man.
It's like hit or miss.
It never like
what?
they're like,
It's like for even simpler terms, it's another medium for art.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
if
like
you really think about it.
and I always think about like I always try to explain it to people in this way. People are always like, well, why does it cost so much money, or why they always have these questions of like what's so special about it. And in the physical world where there's like actual like people like do these paintings and these they hang it on their walls and shit, like there's people out there who are art collectors. That's what they do. They collect art, and people can digest that in a physical sense, but for some reason people don't understand digital art collectors.
Gets lost in translation.
Yeah.
I think too, from what I've read, is a lot of it is, and they could just be saying this, but this is what I read online, is the digital part of it is like it's easier to collect, right? Like you don't have to worry about this physical thing, this painting. If you move apartments or whatever, it's still in your digital files. Like,
Yeah,
it's easier to to move. But another thing too, and I come from the traditional world, so what I do is I always include a 1/1 physical print with the NFT that I never reprint. Like that collector is the only one that ever has it. I don't even reprint it for myself.
Yeah.
I'll do like a alternate color version of that piece if the collector's cool with it. And for the most part, they've all been cool with it. And I only do like tops 12, 15 copies of that to try to get back to like the people that were here from the beginning. Because a lot of the people that were here from the beginning can like afford like some of the digital one NFTs now. But like prints, still, are still a good way for them to be able to get some of my art. And that's why I really do it. Because really, I'm only making more work for myself doing that, like the shipping and printing them and this and that.
Different logistics, all that.
Yeah, and like I could just sell an NFT and make a lot more money than that. But it's not even about that. It's about me still having that connection with my audience that helped me get to where I'm at. But that's one. And then there's plenty of people that do that have a 1/1 counterpart to the NFT, which I think it just makes sense. If the collector wants a physical of it, I'm gonna send you one. Like
I feel like it adds a little bit of utility too.
But I mean, then that's another thing too. Like, what's the utility? Utilities could be many things. Like, I mean, that guitar right there that's hanging there obviously has the utility of you can play it, but when you're not playing it, it's a decoration.
I kind of hate that question, man.
That's utility, right? Like, it's
what's the utility?
It's sitting there for your enjoyment, like
Same thing with like crypto itself. Like a lot of people always ask, like, what's the big deal? Why should I care about cryptocurrency and things like that? And as someone that's like, pretty well entrenched in the space, like what is something that you see a lot of people have the wrong idea about as far as it relates to like cryptocurrency, NFTs and all that?
Pyramid scheme.
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. That's like the main one. Like
it kind of has that vibe, especially like when I jump in like the Twitter spaces, and I see like at least like 10 tweets a day, like drop your NFTs. I got so much.
Those
to spend.
are just fuckers. Farming for engagement.
Exactly.
But that's the biggest one. Like it's a scheme. Like you're scamming people. We're killing the environment type shit. But then like it's like the same people like. If you go research, I don't know that I have the numbers. I've seen it online, but if you go research how much energy it takes to like send out an email or shit like that, or like, bro, you're a fucking hypocrite. Like, and you go compare like the energy used for like mining like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's way less than like the energy for like a bunch of other infrastructure that we. So it's like, you know,
It's like
what are you gonna like? Can't really argue with the rock.
It's like cognitive dissonance. It's like cognitive dissonance almost, where it's like they focus on the negatives, where
Right.
there's positives to be associated with it too.
There's positive negatives with everything in life.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and the
gotta
one
pick your
that's
battles.
the trippiest to me is when other artists hate on it, and it's like they're like dying on their hill that they don't want to like kill the environment or this and that. But I'm like, dude, like, don't you want to like make money? And even if you don't give a fuck about money, like you can use that money to go fucking help the environment or like
Forward your own
your
ambitions.
family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Take care of your peoples.
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. But whatever, to each their own.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. Like,
What can you do? But I mean, as you know, there's a lot to be garnered from the space. It's still relatively young. Where do you see the developments like going from here? Like, I know there's a lot of people that still all say the same, like, oh, we're still early. It's still early,
Yeah.
Do you see like any big prominent developments on the horizon that you think this is probably where like the space itself is going more so than anything else?
definitely gaming. Like,
I've heard.
video game is
Yeah,
gonna
man.
be like a big thing with NFTs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my friend Sobi. I know he's doing stuff like that. And I'll keep it 100. Like, I really don't like keep up that much with it. Like, but like I know like everybody's talking about gaming is like the next new thing. How they're gonna implement NFTs to it, exactly, I'm not 100% sure. But that one, and then of course like the whole metaverse, like you're talking about with the online galleries.
Yeah.
And, like
Sandbox.
cool. Yeah. Nike just acquired.
Facebook
Artifact
just changed their name to
Studios.
Meta.
Yeah. Adidas did a little partnership with the ape people, the Bored Ape Yacht Club people.
Have you heard? Speaking of bored apes, have you heard about like the so-called like racism discussions going on?
I
with
think I don't know,
NFTs?
man. I was kind of looking into that, and like, I mean, some of the logos kind of like, but it's like a stretch, bro.
Yeah,
It's
I think it's a reach for
it's
sure.
a reach. I believe it's Yuga Labs who made them. And they did like a whole thread on like the founders, and like I think it's like a Jewish guy, a Turkish guy, and like
Yeah.
basically like the least racist people you would think that are Nazi, German. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's all like just people fucking
I think
trying
it's
to create
other-
a negative like impact on that project just
Yeah.
because they hate on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you kind of see it a lot. Like if you're kind of like invested in a certain project,
Yeah.
and it's kind of somewhat successful, you'll see other people in other projects kind of like talk
Start
down
kinda
on it,
dog on it a
FUD
little
it is
bit.
what they call it, and
Yeah.
fear and uncertainty or some shit like that, and they kind of start to kind of like either drive the prices down or
Yep.
and just stupid shit, bro. But it's
People just stirring up drama, pretty much.
because they're now fucking rich and have
Yeah.
nothing else better to do.
From what I can understand, I was hearing some people speak on it, and they were making it seem like there's like this like cultish group of people who just compare bored apes to black people. And if that's the case, then I mean, fuck it. I don't. Who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
man. Like
it's not the like the people who make bored apes. Like, I mean, they if as long as it's not them, and I don't care if they have gold teeth and like chains. Like, that's dope. Like, the bored apes are cool, man. They're dope.
I look. I'll be honest with you. I don't really vibe that much with the art, but I respect what they're doing for the space. They're definitely one of the blueprints for everything they've done, and like they basically done a lot of stuff for their community, and that's why the floor on them is I think it's like 60 something ETH, which is you could do the math. I think
Eminem just bought that one for like 500.
But and the problem I have, not the problem, but I think with the thing with those like celebrities buying those, I think someone's telling them
I see where you're going.
like
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
this just to like kind of like not stay relevant, because Eminem is always going to be relevant to a certain point.
But it's like, this is the thing you should do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like their PR manager or something. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
get into this and say NFT or GM or something.
Yeah.
You'll get a
Post it
bunch
as your
of-
Twitter avatar.
Yeah,
to
and you'll
do
get
it right
you'll
now.
get some engagement or type shit. So.
Yeah. You only sell NFTs for ETH, right?
Yes, I'm on the Ethereum blockchain.
Blockchain.
only.
Okay, that's how. Okay, have you heard of like the other blockchains like Near and Solana?
Yeah, I have. I honestly can't really speak much on them. I really haven't dug in much. My thing is I'm for now staying exclusive to Super Rare. And so they're on Ethereum. So as long if they somehow make it to where they bridge it and there's other networks, other blockchains they can accept, and maybe I'll accept other type of crypto. But for the most part, right now I'm in Ethereum only.
Yeah,
And that's just another, like, in my mind, business move that makes sense for me. That's to stay exclusive to this platform.
Yeah. You don't spread yourself too thin, you know?
Yeah.
I guess where I was going with that is how. I mean, this might be a weird question. How exactly do you like price your art, whether it's on the blockchain or not?
For me, it's so there was this tattoo documentary a while back on Netflix, and it made a lot of sense. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chris Garver. He used to be one of the tattoo artists on Miami Ink.
Nice.
Okay.
The bald guy. He's really good. And to paraphrase what he said, and I might be saying it completely wrong, but the reason why you pay him a certain amount of money for this rose tattoo is because he's been practicing all his life to do this rose tattoo.
Yeah.
Perfect the way you want it, and you came to him. So that's why he's charging you that much. And it kind of makes sense. Like, I definitely have a long way to go, and I don't consider myself anywhere close to the greats, but I built myself enough to where I know, like, a certain my worth, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know what I put into my pieces. People know what I put into my pieces. That's why I share a lot of the progress shots.
Yeah.
And I try to put stuff out there that really comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Because if I was really in this space for the money, I would have been minting all my old shit. I would be doing like quick
Scraping everything.
Yeah,
though.
upload a piece every month. Like, it's been, I think, a couple months since my last NFT. You know what I'm saying? Like, the money's cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It helps a lot, and helps me do a lot of things. But really, it's like I really do put the art first.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think people see that, and people see how you move, and I think you kind of can base yourself on your price on that too. Like, I've been around for a while now, so I kind of, in my mind at least, I deserve to, price my stuff a certain way.
Yeah, you've got enough cachet built up to where you can kind of hold yourself to a higher standard in that regard.
Right. I mean, that's why I see it. And
it makes perfect sense.
It's your art. People are either gonna buy it or not.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like So you could sell it how.
And all the stuff I sold so far in the NFT space, I never put a price.
Auction?
I never do an auction or anything.
Oh,
I just upload the NFT and then people bid on it.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I've done it. For this next one, I might change it up though.
Yeah.
Because I'm spending a lot of time on this next one, and it's definitely gonna be my best piece ever.
Really?
But you always say that about your new piece.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one's definitely for sure gonna be like my best one so far.
Do you have a piece aside from this one you're working on now that you feel like is your, I guess, most prized creation, or just the one piece that reflects the effort and inspiration you have in the most succinct way?
There's two. No, there's three.
Ooh.
My Genesis piece definitely faces my first NFT. Just because that one's kind of like the same style that as the one I'm working right now.
Yeah.
But the one I'm working right now is like 100 times on steroids compared to that one.
Wow.
And that's just from like a crazy vibey, like trippy style point of view. But then from a technical point of view, where like I really like I was like, damn, like this is like the best piece of art I've ever done. It's probably my graphite piece, Garden of Rebirth. That one girl with the spider.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
That I did all by pencil. That one actually.
That's wild.
A collector came. Well, I posted something about like, hey, this the only way I would mint this is a collector came to me, and sure enough, a collector came into my DMs, and he was like, I'm interested in this piece.
Nice.
And that was one of my older ones, but he came into my DMs and asked me for it, so that's why I sold it to him. But anyways, that one, because that one's all like hand drawn with pencil. And that piece is like, for sure, when I finished that, I was like, fuck, like,
I can't believe I made this.
I can't believe I made this shit. Yeah, for sure. And then, like, from a digital standpoint, the one I did the one that Sobe ended up buying, Sobe and D's, shout out to them, was my Alt Attack piece, that alien looking one.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Just because
the purple guy, right?
Yeah, because stuff like that is like you have to make shit look a certain way to make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like like the faces one is all like shapes, and I can random shapes and make them look cool. That one, like, this is an actual creature from my imagination.
Yeah.
And he's got two hands, and this hand has to look one way, and then the other hand has to look the other way because it's an opposite hand. So that one was more technically difficult when it came to that. And so I would say between those three pieces probably are...
I feel that.
Like the ones where I was like,
I remember there was one. I remember checking out your page. I think it was on Superware. You made one for your moms, I believe.
yeah,
And I
it
remember
was
seeing that. I was like,
it was
wow,
it was in honor of my mom, and it was for my birthday. It's called Ascension, and it basically just talked about it. It was a piece to honor my mom, because when she had me, she actually had a tumor in her, and the doctor had told her that there was a chance that if she had me with the tumor, that she could die. But if they took out the tumor, that I could die. So she just went for it.
wow,
And had me, and like everything worked out.
Savage.
So yeah, like
awesome.
So like that piece, if you look at it, like the flowers, it's her giving me life, the water's life coming down. And then the pool is basically, you know, just your life and your years in this earth. And then that's why there's a spillage to it on the other side. That's your life ending. Because when you're born, you're automatically taking your first breath towards death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it has like a smaller stream going down. And then the stairs to the pool breaking down into like space. And that's, you know, it's kind of like, it was kind of like that to represent that whole just... me pretty much
Life
being here by luck and
Yeah.
life.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, so yeah, that one was a pretty important piece too. That one was easier though. That one was more about the meaning, and
It felt softer.
Yeah, and it was more about just like this, you know, mom's love is soft, and you know that's what I was going for. It wasn't anything compared to my other ones where like they're harsher and
It's like a lot of sharp angles,
Yeah,
a lot of like
yeah,
kind
exactly.
of rough, like cutting.
So
Where can people find your art online? Is there a central place where you direct people to go, where it's like, if you want to check out a Zaid piece, go here?
My Instagram, if you want to see like just like I see Instagram now. I use it like a little mini portfolio. Really.
Yeah.
It's really just to upload all your pieces. If you really want to see everything, everything's on there, and it's just like my name is Zaid Kirdsey. And then Twitter's really where all this crypto stuff is moving, by the way. So if anybody's interested in the crypto stuff, you got to make a Twitter. You have to. It can be a very toxic place, but you know, that's where it's moving. But Twitter's really like where I'm at. I'm on every day, and Twitter's J Roughhouse for my middle name, J Roughhouse. And Roughhouse, and you know, back in the day, back when I started doing logos, I was under Roughhouse Arts, and you know, I just, for my name,
Throwback.
I didn't want to be known as Roughhouse. Hey, Roughhouse Arts.
What's up, Roughhouse Arts?
So I kind of, you know, I put my initial of my middle name in front, J Roughhouse. So I kind of started going by that for a little bit. But yeah, man, just if you Google me, just say Kirdsey, you can find everything.
Said, just Google me. I'll pop up.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What are some things that you do to kind of challenge yourself in your art to make sure that you're not like staying like stagnant and, you know, doing the same thing over and over again?
I'm very mindful of getting inspiration from others, other artists. I'm not
Murakami?
Yeah, Murakami for sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely a goal of mine to work with. I kind of had a taste of that with the Clone project, where like some of his traits matched up with mine.
Crazy.
But I mean, it's not the same thing as me working with them. But I don't know, man. I always keep an open mind, and I make sure to like not be afraid or embarrassed to let others know that I study a lot of other artists and take a lot of their like just inspiration from them. I don't want, everything is inspired by something else. And to say that you're like the sole like originator of something, maybe to a certain extent, yes, certain things, but it's like, dude, you got that inspiration from something.
At the end of the day, nothing's really original.
Exactly.
Like,
And, I always, like when I'm on Twitter and like I see a dope piece by another artist, like I'll retweet it, I'll show love. I'm not like the type, oh, this is gonna like take away eyes from my stuff. Like, that's like one of the
wealth.
That's one of the corniest shit you could do as an artist, like thinking that doing that is gonna take away from your art.
Nah.
And if you think that, then you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
As they say. And you're just showing your insecurities.
Oh yeah.
But
for sure.
yeah, I mean, I'm always studying other artists and stuff like that, and then just man, I always gotta like try to outdo myself. Like that's my main motivation.
For sure. Are there any artists that you find yourself garnering inspiration from more so than others? And they don't have to be like solely like graphic design artists. You can be like musicians, anything of that sort.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't even reflect my style. Like H.R. Giger is one of my favorite artists. He's the guy who did a bunch of the Alien.
That's
artwork.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's passed on already, but he's definitely one of my favorites. Of James Jean, fucking goat. His stuff is amazing. Murakami, of course. But see, I'm glad you said like other artists too, because I'm the type of person that like, if I see somebody doing something that they love and being great at it, like I get inspiration from that. Like it could be somebody like fucking last year, like Joe Burrow, like had an amazing year in college or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't even care about LSU like that, but like seeing
you watch him play and you're like,
play,
that's
I'm like,
an artist.
I was like, man, the way he throws it, the way he times everything, that's
crazy.
art. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I get inspiration from that, even though it has nothing to do with like my field. And
I never went to LSU, but I don't care.
Yeah, and it's cool like that. Like even another like staying on the topic of football, like everybody hates Alabama, but they're fucking good.
Yeah.
And like seeing them rip it every year, like that's like motivation. That's inspiring. Like I'm like, fuck, like I fucking hate them sometimes, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? So greatness inspires me.
They set a standard for themselves.
Yeah,
and they
like just
set
people,
it high.
people being great. People just shit. It could be like you, like say you like to fucking like run, like, and you go and run and you run fucking marathons, like that would inspire me. You know what I'm saying?
You like to run, right?
I do run.
Yeah, I seen a picture on your Instagram, like you had ran like 11 miles or some shit like that.
Nah,
like,
but the most I ran is 14 miles.
14. It might have been 14
miles?
Which is like a mile more than a half a marathon.
Man,
Wow.
Yeah,
that is crazy, man.
It's just something. It helps me like clear my mind.
I love running,
and
man.
it's one of those things where it's just you and you're only depending on yourself. It's it's part of the whole like type of like lone wolf introvert type of thing, and it's a way to stay active, and it's once you hit that runner's high and you're in that flow state, man, you feel like you can keep going forever.
Your legs just kind of move themselves.
Yeah, they
you know?
really do at a certain point. Yeah, but it's definitely been a really good thing for my mind, for my mental health, for sure.
I bet. Yeah. You're doing the Ironman here before too long, aren't you?
You doing Ironman?
I don't know if it's Ironman
or Spartan race. That's what it
Is
is.
it that
Spartan
marathon
race.
in February here?
Nah, there's one in San Antonio in March, but it's probably like close to what you're talking about. It's basically like it's a 5K and a 10K, and in the 5K there's like 20 obstacles, and it's like rope climbs, wall climbs, crawling under barbed wire, getting muddy and monkey bars and all that shit.
I think I've seen some friends do that before.
Dude, I can't fucking wait, man. I just like
You ready? You been working out? Or?
I at the end of the year I was working out, but I was like I kind of took a break when the year started, but I'm about to get back with it, man.
There you go.
I love that shit though, bro. Just pushing myself to that limit to where like, damn, I can't fucking breathe right now, like even like playing basketball, like I found myself like really liking just like not being able to breathe how I want to. Like I'll we were running back down court, right? And I was on defense, waiting for the ball carrier to come up court, and I was just like, fucking like out of breath, man. But I was like, I'm loving this right now. Yes, I love this right now, and I don't know, man. It's awesome.
Physical activity is like scientifically proven to put you in a better mood.
Oh
afterwards,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be sedentary and expect to be like feeling like your best self.
And I think we're, as humans, I think,
we come from caveman.
Yeah, we're supposed to be moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
we're not supposed to be refined to a desk all day, doing the whole 9 to 5 grind and all that. So you got to stay active somehow. It's important. Speaking of active, man, I know we got South by on the horizon. You excited for that? What are your thoughts there?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm excited. I hope it happens.
Right.
I hope it doesn't get canceled. Because it's been canceled twice now, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And, definitely South by, if you know how to get around and move around, then South by is always a fucking blast.
Oh, yeah.
What do you usually do?
I buy
during
my
South by?
platinum badge off of Craigslist.
Smart.
And then I just fucking, I'm in this little group of people, man. And shout out to Keegan, shout out to Ray, fucking
That boy.
animals. Them boys, they know how to get into everything that you're not supposed to be in, and they don't like. Keegan doesn't even get a badge.
He just shows up. He's just like, well, I'm here now.
He's got his ways. I can't talk about how he does it, but he's got his ways, man. And we've gotten into a lot of fucking VIP parties because of him. And yeah, man, our thing, obviously, before this whole COVID shit was like, man, let's hit these open bars. Let's get hammered during the day.
Yeah.
Fucking party, and then at night catch like the shows.
Yeah.
That's where the vibes were. And I don't think they're gonna be like that anymore, sadly, unfortunately.
I kind of agree, unfortunately. Yeah.
But as long as there's like something going on, it would still be cool to be around some of your homies that are still gonna make it and just kind of chill. I mean, I get it, man. There's this thing going on, but it's at the end of the day, I think we've been locked down for too long, and
folks get stir crazy. They want to live life.
Yeah, and I mean, necessarily don't go out there and fucking start going buck wild, but like, you gotta live your life. It's like, I don't know. It's a definitely a touchy subject to, because if you say, oh fuck it, let's just go party, you're gonna sound like an asshole that doesn't care about the rest. And then but that's why I'm whatever. That's all I could say, really. But I hope it happens.
I'm saying the same, man. I'm saying the same because I've had great memories with you at South by. I've had great memories with South by with my mans here, and it's just a great time all around. And you see awesome musicians you would have never thought you'd see. I went to Elysium, I think, on Red River, and I saw a Japanese metal band of like 16-year-olds, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The last time South by was here, me and Cameron went to I think it was a Tokyo or Japan showcase, and it was just a bunch of like artists from Tokyo or Japan that flew down to do South by, and it was fucking dope. Like just listening to them, and it was such a great experience. But yeah, man, it's hopefully something cool happens. But one of the things that I really, really, one of my most favorite things about South by was getting people in to the parties you were at that weren't supposed to be there. Like
it feels
from
good.
a simple just slipping off your VIP wristband and
like,
throwing it over the fence and then giving it to them. Like
hell yeah,
there's always ways around it. But
oh yeah, then you're experiencing good times with your buddies.
Yeah, because you're there with your homies. So
what was your fit? If you had to pick like a show from South by past, does there any one stick out where you're like, I cannot believe I was here for this show?
Oh man, there's plenty of them. I mean, just Ilmore alone had some fucking great.
Ilmore was
Ilmore,
crazy back in the day.
Yeah, Ilmore. But I would say even though they tour, well, they used to tour frequently, and I've seen them a couple times after that. I think it was like my 2012, 2013, maybe 2014, around that time. I was doing South by, and it got late at night, and I was by myself, and I went to the Media Temple showcase at night. I had that was the beginning of my relationship with them. with Media Temple, and I had just like I won this giveaway on Twitter of their VIP badge for the night showcase.
Nice.
And so I went and picked it up during the day, and whatnot. Well, the headliners was Redman and Method Man.
Oh
And
yeah,
I had never seen them live, so I went there by myself. Nobody wanted to go, and I just fucking got into the front of the stage, and I don't know how it happened, but you know how they go crazy on their shows.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I've seen Method Man before.
Yeah,
that
Method
shit.
Man fucking started walking on the crowd, like walking on the crowd, like on people's shoulders and hands and shit like that. And he like finished out like a song, like on somebody right next to me, and he was using my hand to hold himself. Like he was holding my hand. I have a video, like I'm holding his hand, and he's just holding my hand, and he's just rapping, like going at it, and it's like the fucking craziest, like
That's wild.
coolest shit ever. Like
Hell
for me, like,
yeah.
And I went there by myself. Like I was like, man, fuck all y'all. Like nobody wanted to come. Like
I'm going with this shit.
yeah, and I'm glad I did. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it ended up like being a fucking awesome time.
I have a pretty embarrassing Method Man story.
You take your hat and throw it
Nah,
because he
So-
does that too.
yeah, I think he might have done that to somebody at the show that I was at. But I was at, I don't know if y'all remember the Smokers Club tours. They used to come here to Austin all the time. And Method Man, it was like Currency, somebody else, and Method Man. And Method Man was headlining, and Method Man went crazy, bro. He like spit in the air, and then like it like landed on his chin, and then he like took it off his chin and like put it back in his mouth,
And he
like
spit it out
some
again.
crazy shit. But like crazy show, right?
Yeah.
After the show, Method Man's like standing like on the side of the street, by himself, maybe like two other people trying to like talking to him or whatever. Me and my friend JJ go up to him, right? I'm like, all right, yo, can you sign my hat? Method Man's fucking draws the Wu-Tang W on my hat and writes meth, M-E-F, ... And I just look at it, and I don't know why I said this, but I was just like, all right, whatever. And I put the hat on my head and I walk away. And I was just like, I look back on that moment, I'm like, damn, I had Method Man right in front of me right there. And I just said whatever after he fucking signed my hat, and I could tell by he was kind of salty that I said that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty embarrassing, man. Let me get my, you said your favorite show from South by. I'm gonna get mine off real quick.
Yeah.
It was like Kiss and Fly. And it was fucking dope as fuck. It was like Chevy Woods. Wiz Khalifa came out with Chevy Woods. There was a one time where like Nipsey Hussle, Trey, Yo Gotti, and like two other people were all on stage at the same time, and like just like that was just crazy in itself. Snoop Dogg headlined, Timbaland performed, and he was all drunk as hell, just performing songs off his iPod. That was just so fucking dope. Fucking BJ the Chicago Kid. It was just a crazy fucking
Where was
lineup,
this at?
bro. At Kiss and Fly.
But what what part of?
I think Kiss and Fly is like it was at the end of 6th Street. I can't remember where. I would never. It was a gay club back then, so I was never there when I was like younger, so I don't really know exactly where it was. But it was the South by title of the venue was called the Vibe House.
Huh.
But that was
the Vibe House
yeah. That shit was really dope, man. Really memorable
cool.
moment
for sure. How do you think Austin's changed since you started out here? Beyond traffic, obviously. Like, what is like? I feel like it's easy to say like all these out of towners just come to Austin and just ruin everything. But you've been here since like basically like you were a young boy, and I think you got a good perspective on how things have really changed in the interim since then. So like, what's your take on someone local to the area as far as like how Austin is now as it stands in like 2022 of all times?
This is all jokes. Before I answer seriously, I used to drive around with a friend of mine, a friend of the family, older guy. Like he's stuck in his ways or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like 70 at the time, and we would drive downtown, and he would like look at somebody and be like, just joking around, be like, homeless or hipster, just like type shit.
Got him.
But nah, man. I honestly, man, I really don't care. Austin's, I mean, I'm not even from here originally. I just, if you move here, definitely, it's definitely still chill. It's still definitely a bubble within the state, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it really has changed much when it comes to those core values. But I mean, you definitely seen it. You definitely seen it grow. It's more expensive to live here now.
Yeah.
Traffic and but I think for the most part, it's a good thing just having other people from everywhere.
You think?
Yeah, because I mean, as an artist, you know, you get to experience different cultures.
Oh yeah.
And you know, meeting new people is actually a great way to foster new ideas and stuff like that. Because when I went to New York, that's what was the cool thing about it. It's just like it felt like everybody that I met wasn't even from New York. You know what I'm saying? Only like a couple people, but they were just there. They've been there the whole time, and it was cool meeting all these people from like different like backgrounds and stuff. And I think that's like the same thing with like Vegas. Like nobody's from there really. Everybody
People just go to Vegas.
Yeah, and like you know, it's the same thing. The first time I ever went to Vegas, like I actually kept a little journal. Every time I met somebody and had like an actual interaction with them, I would write down where they were from, and I ended up with like this book of like people from all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what Austin's kind of turning to. Like you know, it's like people like to joke around and compare it to like the new LA or whatever. But you know, besides the obvious like traffic and shit like that, I mean, I
Just
think for the
different
most
people
part,
now.
yeah, it's just as long as you know they're cool. I mean, for the most, I haven't ran into like any issues where like somebody that's not from here is acting an ass or something.
Yeah.
But that's just obviously my experience. I don't know.
From what I see going on in other places, generally speaking, I feel very good about living in Austin.
True. The one thing I would say, and I can't ignore it, is the pushing of the lower class further and further away from their homes because they can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
That's the negative part of it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but it comes with the territory of you want your city to evolve and you know, get better, grow,
improve all these different,
you know, it's
catch
it's
terms.
definitely a balance. But yeah, that's the one thing I will acknowledge. That's, you know, unfortunately a lot of communities, people of color, unfortunately, you know, are getting pushed out because they can't.
Folks on the east side
can't
getting more
afford it
pushed
anymore.
out.
And I would say that's definitely a negative thing of the whole thing. If I really had to
it's
point one- if I really had to point one out, that's for sure one of it.
And I think, and it's been going on for a while too. I mean, no matter like the actual intention, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people, you know, of course it is to improve the spaces and everything like that. But I feel like, you know, I guess like before that wave, it was just basically like just cutting off and limiting the opportunity of colored people, you know? And that's kind of why it's a sensitive subject for me, man, because a lot of people don't really know that. They don't really know that like there's things in place to limit and disenfranchise colored people, you know? And that's when you get people talking about like, oh, that's like the kind of people who can say things like, you know, slavery was a long time ago, get over it. Or like, you know, people that those things come out of people's mouths, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of people need to be educated, you know, as far as
just
things like
ignore it,
that.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Slavery was not. To be honest, not that long ago.
Yeah, when you in retrospect,
no, I mean our country's what, like 200 something years old.
Yeah.
Very
Like
young
that.
country.
Yeah, so you know, slavery was not that long ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you definitely gotta, you know, respect people. You know, just respect people.
Respect people, learn from people.
Most definitely.
But yeah, that's definitely one of the bad things that I can think of right now.
Could you picture yourself living anywhere else?
Yeah, definitely.
Where
I
would
would
you
think I
want
would
to?
always think this would be like home based though.
Yeah.
My thing with here is I fucking hate the summers here.
Very
It's
hot.
humid.
Man.
So eventually, you know, if everything works out and everything keeps going well, I want to have like a home here that I come and chill here during like fall and winter. And then once summer hits, just fucking take off to somewhere where
Going to Miami.
that's even worse. The fucking,
He said it's hot over
it's
there.
even hot too. But Miami is fucking cool to party, man.
Yeah.
I bet.
It is fucking cool. But I mean, I just want to live like high 60s, low 70s year round, bro. Wherever that
So
takes
cozy.
me.
San Francisco?
Yeah, I'd rather go to San Francisco, to be honest. Because I've been to LA a lot of times, but I've only landed in San Francisco, and I like the vibe. But yeah, I mean, somewhere just cool.
You I can't unless you had more to say on this
No, you
subject.
good, go for it.
I want to talk about the Pokemon card, the Charizard, the Japanese Charizard. Is that a holographic Charizard that you have, man?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you get that, man?
So check it out. Two of my homies, shout out to my homie James and Mark. They were, I don't know, they fucking started collecting cards. They obviously everybody's been collecting since they were kids, but for some reason back in 2016, these fools, I don't know where or how, got a hold of like some cards like for retail. Like back when their pack was like still back then, the pack was probably like $8, whatever the fuck the packs were.
Real cheap.
So these guys were getting them from this Connect on eBay. You know what I'm saying? And they just got a bunch of like the old school like vintage shit, and they would like rip them, and they got lucky and they hit on them. And, you know, then obviously they're older, so they would like sleeve them up and put them up and not fuck with them. Kind of find out, like I started hanging out with them again like a couple years later, and for some reason I think my homie Sean, shout out to Sean, he started getting me back into collecting, and I just bought my friend was selling his whole collection, a binder with it had that Charizard in it and everything, because he was trying to buy his lady his engagement ring.
Oh wow.
So I bought the whole binder off of him for like I think like $1,200, $1,400, something like that, and it had a bunch of like old school shit like that.
Yeah.
And
steal.
that's how I became the owner of that card. And then I sent it in to get graded and whatever, and it got like a 9.5. But that's from the 2016 though. It's not like it's not like the old first one, but it's still like a nice little cool thing to have, you know.
Yeah, it looks fucking awesome, man.
I mean, you know, I used to have the first edition original one back in the day in 5th grade, but I put it. I don't know if you remember back in the day, we used to rent out books from the school library. It had that sleeve in the front.
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
you put that card. My dumb ass thought I was smart, and I put it in there, thinking nobody was gonna look in the book. And I went out to Reese's, came back, and that shit was gone.
Oh man, somebody got him.
Somebody got me, man.
Damn, they probably don't even have it anymore, man. It's probably lost in the fucking archives of the world, man.
Yeah.
Well, shit, we got 5 minutes left, man. I think we should wrap it up unless you got something else, man.
I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said, it's been super amazing having you on as a guest, Zaid. It's been an absolute pleasure catching up. And, you know, we've been homies for a minute now. We got a bunch of homies that, you know, we still keep in contact with that might not be around as much anymore or not around at all. Shouts to like Pi, shouts to like, you know, that boy Brooke and all the cats from back in the day that we keep in our hearts through and through. And I would say really just like, what's something that you want to leave the people off with as far as like just a general go off like thing you should take with you after viewing this episode?
Man, I just be fucking cool, man. Like, just respect people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, put out the energy that you want to get back. And I am a firm believer that, you know, if you put out some good energy out there, you'll get it back. If you put out bad energy, you'll get it back. And man, just be mindful, really. That's to be mindful of other people and just, you know, move with empathy and love in your heart. And man, I promise you everything will work out. But you got to work too. But as long as you add the work plus that, man, you should be good. Yeah, and if you want to follow me on the socials, it's Zaid Kirdsey. Just Google it and they'll come up. I don't know. Whatever.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. You gotta put in the work and be fucking awesome to everybody. Don't be fucking disrespecting.
Don't do it.
This the fucking Loose Cannon Show.
That Loose
Shelly Nicks,
Cannon.
Dylan Harkins, the boy Zaid. He brought us some fucking stickers. We drinking cheap wine.
We stick it up
We
with the
good.
menage a trois.
We out.
Yes.